is good, YouTube? Thanks for coming back to the channel, clicking on this video. And as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be about this bad boy over here, the C43, the car that pretty much kind of started it all for me so far. So yeah, I'm going to talk about pretty much like my ownership experience after 4 years and just everything of, you know, what to expect if you're looking into the C43 market, and just how reliable it's been and things like that. So without further ado, I'm not going to take too much longer with this introduction. If you guys are new to your channel, hit the like button and also subscribe, and let's hop into this video. So as you guys can see right over there, about 44,197 miles. So mind you, I've had this thing since 2020, and that's pretty much around COVID time actually. So within those 4 years, it's safe to say that this thing has been like really reliable. I mean, knock on wood, no check engine light, no misfire. I mean, I really haven't had any serious like issues, I guess you can say. The only main issue I had was like a driver thing, probably hit like a pothole or a bump and needed an alignment and got that fixed. But other than that, man, thing's been running really solid, like pretty much brand new. But I will say this though, for anyone that has these cars or any like high performance cars, doesn't have to be an AMG or a C43 or 63 or whatever the case is, don't service your car once every 10K miles or whatever the dealership tells you. I personally don't like doing that. I like to service a car once every 6,000 to 7,000 miles, just so that way, you know, there's new fluids and just new things put in the car, and that way the car runs more efficient. You don't want to keep dragging it out like that, you know. I mean, that's personally what I would do, and that's what I've been doing, and the car's been doing me really well ever since. Now, with that being said, another thing that, you know, I think you guys should know about this car if you're considering buying this thing, or if you just have it and you're new to the platform and everything, is the brakes. So the brakes on these cars, I was actually surprised, have to be changed once every 20,000 miles. Now, if you have a C43, you see the amount of brake dust these things make. So I believe they have 4 piston brakes in the front and I believe 2 in the back. But these things make a lot of brake dust. So like you can go on any drive and you'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, if you know, you know, if you have an AMG or any just high performance cars, they have like those kind of bigger brakes. They're gonna make a lot of brake dust. Now, it's not as much brake dust as the C63 I have as well. That's a 6 piston brake, and that's even worse. That's like a whole different story for another time. But these 4 pistons definitely get dirty, and this car actually does shred through brakes, even if you puff out the brakes and stuff. I've had multiple technicians work on this car and look at it whenever it needs to be serviced, and they all say, generally speaking, around the 20,000 mile mark, give or take, is when the car needs new brakes. So that's something to look out for. Now, personally, I don't buy my brakes and just parts from the dealership because, let's be real, bro, dealerships, especially in my area, upcharge like crazy. They try scamming and just making so much money on their end. So a few places I would recommend looking are FCP Euro. They make some of like the best OEM products for, you know, Euro cars and things like that. And this place called Top Euro Machine, also really good as well. I'll leave them somewhere on the screen over here for you guys to take a look at. But I'm pretty sure they do make parts not only for Mercedes and AMG, but, you know, for other German cars like Audi, BMW, Porsche. But yeah, you'll get them from there and have them installed somewhere that you feel trusted and safe, because dealerships, again, they'll charge you for labor, they'll charge you an arm and a leg, and for their prices. Like, for example, on the C63, I bought 4 of my brake pads and rotors with the sensor from Top Euro Machine for $1,100. Dealership quoted me at $3,000. That's without labor. So I saved myself a lot of money, and I got it, you know, installed, works perfectly fine. And ever since then, you know, the car's been fine as well. And same thing with this car. I actually bought the same, you know, brakes that were needed from this car from the same website. Again, Top Euro Machine. I got the rotors, pads, with the sensor, everything else over there. Saved myself a tons of money and really only had to pay for labor and got it installed. So at the end of the day, that's something to look out for, because I'm telling you, man, these dealerships will do you dirty whenever they have the chance. And then the next thing I bought this car that, you know, I'd love to share with you guys is the drive. This car drives so nice. Now, if you're new to the platform and just the car itself and the brand, you might think that this car is pretty stiff compared to your average, you know, car that you'll be driving, you know, whatever the case is. But take it from me, okay? So I have this car, obviously, and the C63. The C63 is unbelievably stiff, especially if you're driving in the city. But it's worth mentioning, though, when I got in this car right here, it was stiff to me. Like, I found out, like, this thing was really stiff. But over time, you'll get used to it, and it's a pretty good, you know, livable car from, you know, on a day-to-day basis. But if you have a 63 on the other hand, that thing is way too stiff. And even if you do get used to the way it drives, you're still gonna find it being too much of a stiff and heavy car, because coming out of the 63 and now coming into the 43, it's honestly a day and night difference. So obviously it's not gonna drive like an S-Class. It doesn't have the air suspension, but if that's also like something you're looking for in a car, just the drive quality and things like that, it's not the worst, but it's livable with, you know, to sum it all up. Like, you can take the city driving perfectly fine. You go on the freeway like I am right now. You can cruise in it, you can push it whenever you want to. and overall, like, it's not too bad. You might feel bumps a little bit more than usual, but again, trust me, it's nothing compared to like a C63 or anything else. It's the perfect balance, like I've always said. And again, truly one of the best cars you can buy for an everyday daily, hands down. I'm gonna put this thing right here in Sport Plus. I'll push it for you guys a little bit. Man, that's not, oh, that gas light turned on, nice. I'm telling you, man, it's not as fast as a C63, but it's definitely fun. This thing still makes a lot of power. Now, this car as well has a Rentec tune on it, so it's not stock. But yeah, at the end of the day, you will feel a difference between this and the C63 100%. But don't sleep on it. That doesn't mean sleep on the C43s. No, these things are tons of fun. And the upend on this car is that it's all-wheel drive. So this car has the 4MATIC Plus, or no, sorry, just the regular 4MATIC system, and that makes up for it. That makes up for it a lot, especially like if you live in an area where like it snows a lot or it rains and just the weather really isn't the best, like I do here in Michigan. This thing definitely comes in clutch, and it's something that you're definitely gonna need, hands down. And then last but not least is something that everyone always asks me about for this car and the C63. It's where I get my cosmetic parts from, like, you know, this carbon piece right here, the carbon splitter, the diffuser, and things like that. And what I have to say is, it's gonna shock you guys, eBay 110%, and let me tell you guys why. A lot of the carbon fiber part that these manufacturers get and they add on for these cars comes from eBay. They come from places, or they come from China. They come from places like Alibaba, AliExpress. And what they do is they probably like fix the carbon up a little bit and they rebrand it. They put their brand stamp on the carbon fiber piece, and they'll upcharge you like crazy for that. Now, with me, I've gotten everything from there, especially for the C63. The diffuser came from eBay. The mirror caps came from eBay. And everything on this car came from eBay. The grill, the diffuser, the rear splitter, what else? This carbon piece, like everything you can think of, anything you see on my car is from there. And it saves you a lot of money, and it's actually legitimate stuff. Like, it's not like no foo-foo carbon fiber. The carbon fiber looks actually really nice, and it fits perfect. And if you ever have any doubt, you can always contact the seller, you know, discuss about it with them, and then they'll send you, even some of them will even actually send you pictures of what it actually looks like. So at the end of the day, that's where I personally get my stuff from for my cars. That's where I feel comfortable. Now, you might not feel comfortable from there, and that's perfectly fine. You know, it's your car, you can do whatever you want with it. It's your money at the end of the day. But in my case, I know I've had a lot of people flood my DMs and just comment on my posts all the time where I get my car parts from. So there you have it, eBay 100%. Now again, you might not have to buy it from there. You might find somewhere else that you feel comfortable with. But yeah, honestly, you'll be surprised about the stuff you find from eBay. It's crazy. Like, you won't even think. Like, for example, if you want to buy like a diffuser or whatever, just put in, you know, like I did, C43 2020 carbon rear diffuser, or whatever the case is, something along the lines of that, and you'll find tons of things that will come up there. Now, with that being said, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video. I know it's kind of short, it wasn't too long, but just something I wanted to make for you guys, because I do get a lot of messages and DMs and just questions asked about the C43 and how it's been, and if you guys should purchase it. And I just hope that this video was, you know, able to clear some things up for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in this platform and things like that. So with that being said, again, that's gonna wrap up the video. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the like button and also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.